This past year, our students signed 537 records. We compiled all the data from those records and looked at all the streaming metrics. We looked at why some of those records hit 1 million plays, why some of them got to the top editorial playlists, and then we looked at why some records just didn't perform well. They were disappointments, they just didn't hit their numbers. And we saw the same mistakes over and over and over. I don't want you to make those mistakes, so here's 10 things to never do on Spotify. First thing, do not wait to pitch the editorial playlists. Do it as soon as you get the email from them. So if you're unsure of what I'm talking about, if you have a Spotify for Artists account, you will get a notification about 4 weeks prior to your release coming out. Now you have 4 weeks to fill out the information they're asking for. It's not that much work, but if you wait too long, your chances of them picking up your record for an editorial playlist go down significantly. We looked at our students, these artists that signed all these records, and the ones that waited to the last minute were least likely to get their songs in those playlists. So ideally, you want your pitch and your information ready to go. So when you get that email, you fill it out immediately with 4 weeks with those editors able to look through your stuff, and you have the best chance. Next thing, and this is really easy, stop using your logo or your cover art as your profile picture. You want to use your face. This is a really easy thing, but it's actually really crucial when you think about it. Think about a playlist creator or a fan or another artist. You can't expect them to know you by your logo or by your cover art, but that's what shows up in that little circle. Logos and cover art, they're lifeless. They're very mechanical. People want to connect with real people. And I'm doubling down on this. Now with AI getting so big, the more human you are, the better. Right? Like you get it. When you go on social media and you're watching some podcast and you realize it's fake and it's AI, kind of bums you out. When you're listening to a song, you realize a computer made this. So if I see a random logo or it's some AI generated image, I'm going to assume this is not a real person. So use your face. It'll be more identifiable and more human, which I think that's where we're going. Now let's look at how your profile should actually be seen. Let's compare two different ones. On one side, we have our student Nostalgics. She's done really well with us. Joined our program about 6 years ago. She played the main stage at EDC. She's done Ultra, Tomorrowland, signed to all these great labels. On the other side is just a random artist. Which person are you more excited to check out just based on the profile? It's obviously Nostalgics, right? You could really get a sense of her. She's using her pictures, she puts her personality in there. She also has all this extra stuff. You want to have as many sections as possible. You want your page to be as long and robust as possible, right? She adds an artist pick. She adds sections for the playlists and for the gig she's doing. All that extra stuff, it makes you look more professional. It makes you look more relatable. Let's go through some of those sections. Because today, people are not checking out an artist's website. This is what they're checking out. Think about it. When was the last time you went to an artist's website? Let's kind of start from the bottom and go up here. Don't leave the bottom blank. The section where you can put a bio and pictures and your social media, you want all of that filled out. Keep your pictures up to date. Keep your bio up to date. Make sure the links on your social media are also up to date and active. Going back to the first thing, when you're pitching those editorials, those are real editors that you're pitching, and they might want to check you out. If they see this stuff is not filled out, there's no information, there's nothing about you, you kind of lose points in their system. Even your potential fans, right? Getting to know an artist today, they're going to check out social media, but if they're sitting on Spotify, they might go here first. And then when it comes to potential agents or managers or talent buyers, and for those that don't know me, I had a career that was very successful for over 10 years in throwing concerts. I booked thousands of artists, Axwell to Zed, Pharrell, The Roots, and what we used to get was called the EPK. And now this is the new version of the EPK. If you don't know what an EPK is Electronic Press Kit. And we would look at them to get to know the artist and a little bit about the artist. They're still used sparingly, but now the industry is moving towards this. And I can get all the info I want from your Spotify. What should you write on a bio? I think a good bio can be 3 paragraphs. First paragraph, your background, your inspirations, kind of where you came from. Second paragraph, ideally, is what brought you up until the present. Even if you're a beginner, even if you just had your first release, you can write how long you've been working towards it, how long you've been producing, some of the folks that inspired you to get here. Then in the final paragraph, that's where you are now, present into the future. You can put some aspirational things you're looking to do. Hey, I want to really come out with a full album next. Or I'm really looking to do a mini tour near my city and on the East Coast. And be as ambitious as you want. This is all forward thinking. Maybe it's dream collaborators, dream labels, or things like that. Again, it helps me get a sense of you. While we're down here and we're near this section, let's talk about the gig section. If you're doing any sort of shows, even really small ones, don't leave this section blank. Well, you might be sitting there, but Justin, I don't have these kinds of shows. And Nostalgics is playing huge concerts, Beyond Wonderland, Las Vegas, all this great stuff. You can still put that you're playing down the block at your buddy's bar. So I'm going to teach you how to do this real quick. This is all done by the artist via a service called Bands in Town. And it's all very easy to do. You can set up any event that you want, do it through Bands in Town, and then you link that to your Spotify. And then it makes your profile look more robust. And again, the more you're showing, the more legitimate you look to me. Also near this section is your playlists. Now, sure, you want to put your songs there and you want people to see your songs, but you actually want to separate a playlist where it's just your songs and then a playlist that's going to help with networking. We're going to talk about that in a moment. So if you want to just showcase your songs, like Nostalgic, she just has one for her discography. Now with that second playlist, because it's not just focused on your songs, this should be one about shedding love and focusing and supporting other artists. This is a massive technique that my students use to get to labels, to get to artists, and to network. So here's how you want to do it. You want to make a playlist, ideally of 20 to 60 songs. You're going to update that probably once or twice a month. Swap in new ones, take out old ones. Really easy. You can do this sitting on the couch on your phone. And even if you don't have an artist account yet, even if you're not putting out music, you can do this from a user account, from a personal account. Add music that you want to support. Add artists that you're trying to shine a light on. And no offense to Skrillex or Diplo, but they don't care if you just added them to your playlist. But if you add those smaller folks, the midliners, the openers, but then you go on your socials and you DM them, you tell them that you added them. You make a post about it. You make a story about it. You tag them there. You say, hey, artist, I've been loving this record of yours. I've been supporting it in my shows. I've been playing it at my sets. I had to add it to my playlist. I want to give it all the support I can. And if you have anything else like this, feel free to send me. That's a great way to network and build relationships. The best relationships start when it starts with giving. If you want to take this a step further, do this with the labels that the record is on. This is all very easy to do. Let me show you this real quick. Go to the song that you're adding and then click on the 3 dots to the right of that song. You're going to see show credits. Click on that next. And at the bottom, you're going to see what label this is on. Then you're going to go on Google. You're going to just look up the basic, info or general email of that label. And then you email them just something super supportive. You say, hey, I love this record that you put out. I've been playing in my shows and playing in my sets. I just added it to my playlist. I want everyone to hear it. If you have anything else like this, do me a favor, put me on your email list. Now, if someone from that label replies to your email and says, hey, thanks, now you have a direct correspondence with the label. Now you might start a conversation. I have students that use this method and it ends up being the start of a relationship that lasts the next 5-10 years with this label. I've been mentioning students in our school quite a bit, so I do have to shamelessly plug our program. All the information that I give out, that Zach gives out, all of these lessons, this is stuff we teach in our premium program. We've been around now for over 13 years. We're about to hit 14 years. Our program is a personalized, lifelong development program. And the results, they speak for themselves. Last week, we had 4 students play EDC. Every year, we have about 4 or 5. Our students are signing to the biggest labels in the world. The program is so high in demand at this point that we're always sold out 5-6 months in advance. The community we have is absolutely incredible, the most supportive people I know. And even though the coursework is quite hard and the lessons are demanding, that support system that is set up for you, I truly think makes this an incredible experience if you are looking to get to that next level. We're always looking for great students to work with. If you are looking to apply, I'll leave a link below in the comments. Back to things you shouldn't do on Spotify. Don't just pay for playlisting. It's important to get on user playlists 100%, but you don't want to just pay to get on some random playlist. In an interesting way, that can actually hurt you in the algorithm. I had this student recently who paid this playlister, this professional playlister, to add their song to these playlists with like 1 million followers. But his song really didn't get any plays. He only got a couple 100. And he just didn't understand why. Why is a song where it's on a playlist with 1 million followers and doesn't get the plays. So I looked at the playlist, I did some digging, and immediately I figured out the problem. This song was a house record, and this playlist was not house music. Spotify, at the end of the day, is an algorithm. It is a computer program. It does not have ears. So the algorithm looks at this record, this house record, and has no way of assessing it. But it's able to see, oh, it's on this playlist that has country music or hip hop music. It's going to show that song to other people that like those genres. It's going to wrongly assume the genre. It's going to wrongly assume the audience. And it shows it to those people, they don't like it, and they hit skip. So if you're kind of new to this, on Spotify, you need 30 seconds of active listening for it to be considered a play. If someone just listens to your song for 10 seconds, for 2 seconds, it is not considered a play. So if someone skips it very quickly, that's like a downvote. That's like going against the song being pushed. So whether they're skipping it on a playlist or skipping it from the algorithm due to poor targeting, that's going to hurt the song. So you could have a song that literally has 0 plays on a playlist that has 1 million followers. Which brings me to the next thing you shouldn't do. Don't just rely on those editorial playlists. Yes, you should be pitching the user playlists, but real users, not just these playlisters. And in a very interesting way that will help you get on the editorial playlists. Here's how this works. Realize that there's literally billions of user playlists on Spotify. That's a thing. And you can pitch these people. They're real people. You can find them. There's plenty of sites that you can filter and find the right playlist for you. There's Chartmetric or Spot on Track. Makes it way easier when finding the right ones. You know, you can go to a small one that's just run by a regular person. It's got 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 followers, and you can target it so it's the right playlist for your sound. You know, those types of playlists that are run by real users, they're not playlisters. You can get on those just by being a decent person, just by being positive, by being giving, by being generous. Fast forward to when you are pitching the editorials, they'll see that you're getting love from the user playlists, and that helps you immensely. It'll also help you in the algorithm with the discovery playlist, with Discover Weekly and Release Radar. So those are the personalized algorithmic playlists. Everyone has them. And how those work is Spotify will see your song doing well, let's say on the user playlist for house music, and you've done that targeting for your sound. And the algorithm is like, oh, look at this song that's doing really well with our user playlist, with regular user playlists, and it's house music, and they're house playlists. This is a house song. Let's put it in front of more people on Discover or on Release Radar that like that sound. Going back to pitching the editorial playlist for a second, if you're nailing a lot of the stuff I said prior, then it just comes down to the final thing, which is writing the actual pitch. So I like to break it down into 3 sections, essentially 3 sentences, and you don't have unlimited characters. It's actually limited on how much you can type. The first sentence, I'm going to go with what makes this record different, exciting, and new. You want to hit them with that immediately. Now, I don't love it when people are just comparing their record to some other artist. Oh, well, this song sounds exactly like Illenium. If you like Illenium, you're going to like this. Well, if you're on the other side of that, if you're the editor, if you're the potential person you're pitching, they're going to say, well, we already have Illenium. People can just listen to Illenium. Instead, you want to talk about what makes these sounds different. What are you doing differently with your synthesis? What are you doing differently with your sound choices? And if you want to compare it to artists, you want to do it in how you're making it unique. So if you said, hey, this sounds like Illenium, if Illenium were the 5th member of the Beatles, that I'm interested in. I'm going to check what that sounds like. Second sentence should be about your creativity, a bit about your brand, and a bit about your personality. Now, creativity is the key here, and this is why, using ChatGPT is essentially a failure with this. ChatGPT is very bland, it's very corporate sounding, and you kind of want to show a bit of your personality here. I might say, as a Star Wars nerd, this song was my Death Star. It's big, it's powerful. It almost killed me trying to make it. Now, in this section, you can also discuss editorials that you think it matches up for, but don't just say like, oh, this song is perfect for Mint or Rap Caviar, right? They get thousands of pitches that just say that. What you want to do is you want to essentially analyze the sound that is currently doing well on that playlist, in that community of Mint, of Beast Mode, whatever it may be, and then talk about how your sound is matching up with those things. If you can say, hey, the Beast Mode playlist, I wouldn't mention it specifically, but you say, playlists that have this type of energy that, feels like when you're running and you're marathoning, you need that last bit to finish the triathlon, you're turning this on, right? It's like, hey, that's good for beast mode. Now, the final sentence, I'm going to talk about if I've had artists play the song, which is called artist support. I'm going to talk about if the song is doing well when I've teased it on social media. I'm going to talk about those metrics. And then I'm also going to throw on if I've gotten any support in the past from those user playlists. To just chew at some of those things, I have a student, Worm. He just signed a multi-song deal with Dimac. And one of the songs that he put out initially with them, he had tons of numbers to show. It did really well, and he was teasing it weeks prior, before it came out on social media. He's going to talk about that. Where I got like my student Charles D, and we can talk about artist support. Before a song comes out for him, he has Camel Fat playing it, Christoph, Leighton Giordani, Adam Bayer, and he's going to discuss that in this section as well. If you're brand new to getting artist support, you're like, wow, how do you get in contact with those artists? How do we get to them before the song comes out? I have a whole nother video that's gonna be coming out after this in a couple of weeks. Subscribe to the channel if you currently aren't, and I'm gonna go through all of artist support. But if you're sitting there and you're saying to yourself, Justin, all this stuff is great and all this is really informative, but I don't even have the marketing down. I don't even know how to pitch the record label, or my music is not there. I'm gonna have the YouTube algorithm pop up the next video that you should watch. And it's all based on, how it knows you, and it's kind of creepy, and it's listening to you and all that stuff, but it knows you better than me. So I'm gonna have it show you a video right now. Go watch that one next. We'll see you in there.